Hi there, Virgos, and welcome to your um, basically your September relationship video. Okay, so Virgos, let's see what's going on for you in your relationships. I have for you the King of Coins. All right, this is the King of Coins. All right, so your King of Coins, that is your conscious, and that is um, provider. Okay, you're trying to provide for your family for this month. Okay, you're trying to basically get everything that is required of you for this month of um, September. So, I mean, obviously, there's going to be some, you know, challenges. There's going to be some conversations. There's going to be a lot happening. Okay, but I also have for you here the skull cap stillness. Okay, with the skull cap card and stillness. And I was just reading about how our heads and like our minds and stuff like that. There's like some symbolism there when it comes to the consciousness and challenges with that. All right, so um, and there was this like interesting little like horoscope I read about how like in order to take care of your head, you can um, eat like a head of lettuce, or you can turn the metaphor into something literal. And I just found like the crown chakra and like massaging your scalp like with shampoo or conditioner or like um, some kind of hair serum or something along those lines that kind of like massages like that area of your head, your crown chakra, obviously, can really be something that brings stillness and calmness to your mind. Because if you have all these thoughts going on up there and they become muddled and confusing, you can like even just something as simple as like combing or brushing through your hair can be a very like soothing self ritual of relaxation. Or even getting like those jade stones, like those roller jade stones, or they have rose quartz, and you just massaging your head, basically your face, like all of these aspects of your visage. Okay, I've been watching Emily in Paris, so I'm gonna be like throwing in some French there, some high school French. So that's kind of like consciously what you're like thinking about is yourself and like your image and your face, and then your hopes and your fears. Okay, let's move on to that. So this is very much coming off as like relationship with self. Ooh, we have the lovers, kindred souls. Okay, Virgo. So your hopes and your fears are these kindred souls. Okay, are these two um, images of you, these two people of who you are. Okay, so I think your relationship with yourself is like something that's really apparent, and it's really coming across this um, month for you with the kindred souls, because you're not just looking at this as something it's not like so much someone else. I mean, if you are in a relationship with someone and you do have a partner, then I feel like that person has to kind of like replicate you or mirror you in a way that makes sense. It makes sense to who you are as a person. So if they're not matching your level of emotion, your level of like what you currently need in the relationship, there can be some conflict, right? There can be some reversed energy, okay, with the lover's card. Um, so I definitely think for you, though, there's choices to be made, and there is also a little bit of uncertainty when it comes to the kindred souls, okay? And like there could be kindred souls, kindred spirits, like best friends. Like it doesn't have to necessarily be a romantic relationship. You could be making a best friend for the first time. You could be really connecting with someone because they're going through emotional relationship problems, and so are you, and then you bond over that, become friends over that. So it's really not so much just, the basic, you know, I guess, mainstream lovers card. It's something much deeper and bonding because it's a kindred soul. It's someone who understands pain and heartbreak. Um, yes, so I have Rosemary Ancient Memory here with the Rosemary Ancient Memory. So what you're dealing with, your fear here with the Rosemary and the Ancient, and the lovers and the kindred souls, what you're really feeling here is that there is like a basically like um, a, a memory, but it's a memory of your past relationships and what went wrong in those relationships, whether that be friendships, family dynamic, or romantic. So you're really taking a look at all of these different relationships. Your fear is that you're going to repeat the same mistakes you did in the past, or you might overthink a certain friendship or a certain romantic relationship, and it might turn sour or it might turn ugly because in the past you had this happen and you're trying to like see like what went wrong, okay? And your memory is coming in to help you so that if you are faced with the fear of making the wrong choice or making a mistake, that you're not going to hold yourself to like guilty over it or too bad about it, because we're all human, we all make mistakes, but you're definitely trying to not like ruffle any feathers or cause any hurt or pain to anyone, but you definitely are like looking at the aspects of your different relationships and what they mean and what they symbolize and how they relate to past relationships. So we have here yarrow, harmony. Okay, there's some harmony coming in. And this crane has like a super long neck with like the balancing scales and a hand with flowers being held out. There's rain, a bundle of sticks, some stars, a lot going on there. So we have yarrow and we have harmony. Okay, so that's the past. Like the past had like this harmonious bliss to it. Um, Obviously, something went wrong, something occurred that did not make really a lot of sense to you. So, let's take a look at what that might have been, like what it might have been that did not make sense to you. Okay, we have the Emperor. Okay, we have controlling authority. Yeah. So the reason why there was some disharmony or imbalance is because of the emperor, and they were very controlling. Okay, they didn't understand what you might be going through or why you might be going through something hard, and you were in a very vulnerable space and place in your life. So the emperor can be, overly ambitious. It can be overly, um, you know, controlling, things like that. So that could be a reason why things didn't work out the way you wanted them to, because you had a very, like, precise plan for what you wanted, but then it didn't happen. I also think you were dealing with some very immature, naive, like not fully developed minds that were kind of like, you know, not really blending with you as far as the emperor and the, harmony go, as far as harmony and emperor go, because, you're dealing with people who are, I guess everyone wants their own set of rules, their own set of guidelines, their own narrative. And for you in your past, you wanted harmony, you wanted balance, but others did not see it the same way you did. Okay, your vision for the future and what you wanted for yourself was not in alignment with what others wanted. So it's not to say what you didn't deserve that happiness and harmony that you were looking for in those past relationships, but you definitely were not aligned with people who wanted that. Okay, so let's take a look here at the present, the self, and the problem. So we have the Five of Cups. We have mourning. Yeah, Five of Cups mourning. That's the problem here, is like people are still grieving and in mourning and loss. There's nothing wrong with mourning, okay? But it's causing some delays in what's currently going on and what actions need to be taken to move forward. Sometimes people need a little push. And the mourning here of like loss and disharmony can extend for a very long period of time. And unfortunately for you know for you, Virgo, um you know it's not to say this cannot be resolved, but unfortunately there is some you need there you're dealing with people who don't want to move on, who don't want to um, correct their mistakes. They want to live in their mistakes. So it's causing you some blockages, Virgos. Uh, Game call breakthrough. We do have a breakthrough coming in though. This is your present self. You're creating these breakthroughs. You're showing up and being present and staying in the now. And you are fully aware of like what the situations that are occurring now, and you know how to deal with them head on, and you know how to deal with the mourning in a positive way, which sounds like an oxymoron when you think about it, because it's like uh mourning and staying positive, those two don't make sense. Well, they kind of do make sense when you have to keep moving forward with your life and you can't get stuck in the past, which is the over controlling, disharmonized, unbalanced scales. And you need things to go in your favor, Virgo. You need things to go in your favor this month. And you're trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're trying to see the positive in things, but you don't really. You're around people who do not embrace that. You're around people who do not see that. You're around people who your relationships with them are muddled and they're disharmonized and they're stalling and they're backed up and they're not pushing and moving forward. They're not even a little bit. So you have to be the bearer of bad news, don't shoot the messenger. But Virgo, you kind of have to speak your truth and you kind of have to let things fly and see where they fall. Like it's a tough spot to be in. You don't want to be in that spot. You don't like being in that spot. It's not comfortable for you. In the past, you were in this spot multiple times and you lost friendships over it. You lost, you know, romantic relationships over it. And you don't want to be in this spot. But unfortunately, you're in this spot. Like the universe put you in this spot for a reason. Okay, so we have here the magician, ginseng. Okay, and I just want to make note that like the arm that's handing you the sword of truth here is like got a wizard's kind of like cloak on. You can see a little bit of the design there. It's like blue with stars, and the magician wears stars. And in all the cards with the magician, they're always like, those old fashioned blue starry robes. So you're being handed the magic here. You're being handed the willpower here to succeed with this breakthrough, and that's your future. Okay. You can't go back in time and change things and make things better. So the magician, the breakthrough, it's all you're being given, you're being handed, the universe is handing you that like stamp of approval, that thumbs up, that's okay to push and move forward and use your magical gifts to do so, use your healing to do so. And this is going to lead here to familiarity, Six of Cups with familiarity. This is a very familiar place you've been in before. You just know that sometimes you can make enemies out of this because yeah, you know you can make enemies out of this situation because, well, you can make enemies out of this situation because the magician doesn't like the magician, it wants the audience to react. That's the intention. A good magician is going to get the audience to react in a positive way. And I feel like the judges sitting at your table right now are people from your past that are very emperor-like. They're very judgy. They're very disorganized emperors. Like they don't. They use controlling and manipulation. They're like an emperor in reverse. They're not using their organizational skills or their fairness skills or their diplomatic skills to fix and address situations. They're avoiding responsibility. So you have to kind of like say, okay, well, I need to work with them. I need to get their approval. They're my coworkers. They're my bosses. They're my teammates. They're my alliance. So how do I magically wave a wand here and make things better, right? And so the universe is like, here's your sword of truth, speak your truth, be your authentic self. And that's going to be this breakthrough moment where they see you as a real leader and they see you stepping up. And the Six of Cups is like familiarity. You're a leader, okay, Virgo, you're a leader and you have leadership qualities and skills. And so when you have to move forward and you have to wave your magic wand and yield the sword and keep moving forward, it's a tricky place to be. It's not a fun place to be. It's like, oh, can I just go back into bed and just not do anything? But no, you can't. You have to keep going. So it's a very familiar spot for you. You've been in this place before. You've been in this position before. And it's been a while, so it's a little bit uncomfy, but you got to do it, okay? So the Six of Cups and familiarity. Let's take a closer look at this. Yeah, it's all about harmony, nostalgia, happiness, forgiveness, independence, and stuck in the past. So don't be stuck in the past, obviously, and keep pushing forward, okay? And then we have here for your external influences, we have the Page of Wands. Okay, holding that torch of light, holding that ever burning ember of fire there for all to see. Energy. Yeah, your energy is like off the charts, Virgo. Like you're full of life, you're full of energy, you're excited, you're ready to go, you're not holding back. Your external influences can come from like, other mentors and other teachers and other wise individuals that you take knowledge from and you incorporate it into your life. And it's really a beautiful energy to be in. It's an accepting energy. It's a basically like a desire to learn, a desire to gain more knowledge, to gain more perspective, to gain insight. And that's kind of what you're doing right now in this Page of Wands energy with the external influences, as you're looking at all the different people out there and all the different energies they're giving off. And I feel like you have like a kind of creative, like artistic mindset. So you generally gear towards like artists and creative types, and it's very influential for you to be in your style and your aesthetic and your environment to basically like hold up a light and hold up a torch for like all other artists and creatives out there and unique individuals who don't feel the stereotypical norms and are just different. And you are different, Virgo. And that's what makes you such a unique, creative, magical individual and leader. And incorporating that part of yourself, which makes you who you are, into your everyday routine, into your relationships. It's all coming together, and you're all seeing it come together in like this beautiful, like mosaic painting that is you. Okay, so your external influences with the Page of Wands with your energy is going to be let's see, curiosity, creativity, enthusiasm. Okay, there's obviously going to be always going to be delays. There's always going to be that one rebellious person that doesn't want to listen. There's always going to be some disappointment, but you kind of have to just take it with a grain of salt. Like, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. You move on anyway. You move forward anyway. You keep doing what you got to do anyway, regardless. Give yourself time to grow. Give yourself time to see what you can come up with and what you can show and what you can prove. And those that love you and adore you and believe in you and support you, they're going to show up and they're going to be there for you. Okay, so that's with the energy, okay, for the Page of Wands. Alrighty, so we also have here the Tulsi wealth. Okay, wealth and prosperity are coming through with this Page of Wands, and that's really your relationship with money and finances. That's what you're really working hard to manifest right now with the wealth and the page and energy. Your energy is bringing in wealth. You're all about being your true authentic self. I feel like this is like a spirit guide coming in to like sprinkle some magical fairy dust on you, and you're this beautiful peacock. And the peacock is like the emperor of the like animal kingdom, right? It has that emperor energy, okay? And you are like, I gotta step up and be the emperor here. I gotta be the one that brings in this wealth and this prosperity here. Okay, because if you're not bringing in wealth and you're not bringing in prosperity, then you're really kind of letting yourself down, because you know that your outcome here, the outcome you're seeking, the outcome you want, is something of like real, true, um, like it's real true revolution. Okay, I let the card go. I'm letting the card be shown before I finish my sentence. Knight of Wands, revolution. Okay, you're revolutionizing your relationships. You're taking things to the next level. You're showing up where no one else is showing up. You're showing everyone what a leader looks like, what a true, like, I want to say a stone cold, but you're not. You're warming up to your leadership. Okay, like I feel like you have a very negative from the past. You have a very negative connection with leadership. You've seen other leaders before you make mistakes and f things up, and there was something about these leaders in the past that you actually like admired. You actually valued, but then you saw them do some really stupid things, and you're like, I would never do that. And that was the universe telling you, like, you're right. You would never do that because you're better than that person. You're a better leader, and you need to step into your role that you were like given, like you were destined for, you were purpose was for, and you're born into. And you have to literally like do not like step back and hide who you are. Don't go back into the shadows. Okay. So Knight of Wands revolution, you're revolutionizing here your relationships and what you want your relationships to be like. And that's the outcome right there is this beautiful Knight of Wands energy. Okay, so that's passion, courage, adventure. Okay, that's everything that you want in life. Is the revolution? Is the Knight of Wands? Okay. Um, Also, shout out to anyone who knows how to like record your tarot cards and your like face at the same time because I'm still trying to figure that out. But anyways, moving on. So you're revolutionizing yourself and you're revolutionizing your relationships. And what this does with the chamomile here is bring you inner peace. Okay? This brings you inner peace. This brings you that loving, tranquil, beautiful, wonderful energy that you want to incorporate into your life. Okay? It's just a very soft, calm energy. And it's interesting how revolutionizing something and how like pushing the button on everything and being like it's time to go. It's funny how that action is like so extreme or so dangerous or so like mind blowing can actually bring calmness, can actually bring peace. Because you're basically by pushing that button on revolutionizing things and starting things up, you're actually helping. You're actually moving things forward into the future. So yes, are people scared of the unknown? Are people scared of change? Are people afraid of what might happen if they change the algorithm, if they change the course, if they change society, if they don't speak up? Of course. But where would we be in society today if people didn't speak up, right? If women didn't say, I want to vote. Like, I don't want my husband to vote for me. I want to vote, right? Where would we be? You know? So it's little things like that that add up and make a world of change and a world of good. And you're definitely one of those people who's not afraid to push the button and get things started, but you have done it before, not so much, like small scale, right? You have done it small scale before, and you've lost people over it. Friendships faded away, relationships ended, but you still came out stronger and braver and smarter and better. You revolutionized yourself, and through revolutionizing yourself, you can now teach other people how to revolutionize as well. Okay, so that's really what's bringing you inner peace here, is actually living up to your potential, living up to who you truly are. It's scary, and there's always that what if, but you're not looking at that. You're not predicting that. You are predicting a better, more hopeful, more sound of mind future for yourself and all the people that you're in relationships with, like your circle of trust, that all those people that you trust and that trust you. And the people who you trust, you only trust them so far, and they only trust you so far. But that's good. That's okay. That's what you're working with, and you know how to work with that, and that's fine with you, right? So, let's see your unconscious here. We have lavender. Ooh, lavender. All right, weaver. Oh, yes, you're a beautiful weaver. There's a woman with a violin and another one with like magical dust coming off her hands, and a mother with a baby and a harp. And it's just this really beautiful energy. And there's some spider webs and weaver. Yeah, lavender and weaver, that calmness. Lavender is definitely a very calming scent and aroma. And it looks like you're weaving this into existence, this inner peace, this calmness. Okay. So that's your unconscious right there, is this lavender, and it's very beautiful and very calming energy. Okay. So, let's see, that's your unconscious right there. Okay. So, yeah, so lavender is dilly dilly. Okay, so let's take a look here at, ooh, we have the tower. Ooh, revelations. Yes, the tower, revelations. I keep seeing this tower energy coming through somehow. Like it's like behind the scene tower energy. It's like there's a lot of emotional, um, stuff going on in the background, like probably people around you, that you're aware of this, and like the tower is like about to erupt, like the volcano is about to erupt, the tower is about to fall, like the cards are about to fall on the table. Everything's about to be out in the open with this beautiful tower energy. I say beautiful tower energy because um it's unconscious, and it's all those hopes and fears, all those worries, all the stress, all the past issues, all the past situations, all the past failures. It's everything that was negative, all coming like a boiling point, like all coming out to boil all over on top. But you know what? Hot water boils, the pasta goes in, 7 minutes roughly later, the pasta's done and you can have dinner. So that metaphor is a cooking metaphor. So anyone who knows how to cook gets what I'm saying. Great. If not, basically what I mean is that like people have to express themselves. People have to release their energy, especially negative energy. Okay, so find a safe space to release any negative thoughts and energy. Usually, like the advice is journaling. Writing is very therapeutic. Writing, singing can incorporate, the releasing of endorphins and make you happier. Dancing is a great expression. Um, Going hiking, like physical exertion, can help release negative energy. So that's why you have revelations, the tower. It's because you have been like your eyes have been open to, wow, I know what it looks like when someone is sad. I know what it looks like when someone is mad. I know what it looks like someone is happy. Like these signs with the people that you're in relationships with. You now know, like, everybody has like a ticking time bomb. Like everybody has a wait time to how much they can deal with before they're like, oh my God, this is too much. But you are fully aware of that in your relationships with people and even yourself too. I feel like for you, it takes a lot of stress to get you really to the point where you're like, okay, I'm done. I can't deal with this anymore. But because you've revolutionized your relationships, because you've opened yourself up to um, basically knowing who you are and being okay with who you are and accepting who you are, um, you're now able to accept others for who they are, even in their worst of times. I'm not saying like you're going to be around them physically and like deal with their BS, but I'm saying when the signs are there and you're dealing with someone who's like not in a good place in their life, and you still are friends with them, you're still related to them, or you're still romantically involved with them, you can decide what you want to do because you've already had that revelation of like what you can handle and what you can't handle. So your relationships at this point are really going to be you coming into yourself and speaking up for yourself, and um, not being afraid to hold back anymore. And not everybody, I feel like, is going to understand that or fully embrace that quite yet. But I feel like over time, the more you emphasize, this is who I am and I'm not going to change who I am, I'm willing to like follow certain rules and expectations, but I'm not going to dishonor and disservice myself by not being my true creative, loving, nurturing self and protective self. Like, you're not willing to sacrifice your integrity for the sake of a relationship. If somebody that comes into your life is telling you to sacrifice your integrity in order to be with them, that's not a good person you should be in a relationship with. It doesn't matter if they're related to you or not. It doesn't matter if you're romantically involved with them or not. Do not sacrifice your integrity or your values or the core and essence of who you are to please them. Okay? Because that is not going to be, you're going to be doing yourself a huge disservice, and you're going to be going back to your old self that didn't come this far for no reason. Okay. So that's your like revelation really for the month of September, because I have had a couple of dreams that really like synchronize with like people like I'm socializing with, and um, I did get like a little bit of like hint or sense that there is kind of like some hesitation towards like who I am as a person versus like who these other people are that I'm socializing with. So it's a fine line, you know. You don't want to like you got to just take your time with forming new relationships. I would say your older relationships, you're right where you need to be, but your newer relationships that you might just be starting out are a little bit like take your time with those new relationships, because you don't know if they can be fully trusted or not yet. Like you want to trust them, but you don't know if you can, you know? All right, so the tower. Let's take a little bit closer look here at this tower. Let's see. Yeah, chaos, change, freedom, revelation, awakening, obstacles, avoiding change, losses, averting disaster. Yeah, I don't think the new relationships necessarily bring disaster, but I would say that like once you reveal like all of who you are, it's gonna be like quite a shock to some people because they're not used to someone like you in their social circle or social arena, and they're very used to a certain audience. But I mean, you can like you can either take a step back and just realize like this isn't the place for you, or you can try to look at it from a different perspective and say I don't fit the norm, and I'm not like one of those people that um has a certain like lifestyle that fits like old stereotypes or old norms. Like I'm a new age, new era type of person, and I'm going to go where my heart is leading me to go, where my passion is leading me to go, where my creativity is leading me to go, where my career is leading me to go. Okay, Virgo. So I feel like for you for September, just remember like you don't have. That's where like the tower is so interesting, because it's like you don't have to like um not be yourself. You can let the tower, you can let the whole thing bubble over. You can let your emotions out. You can let your true self out, and you don't have to hide who you really are in this social group. But this social group is like not really like used to someone like you. So just know that, because you know, like that could make you feel a little bit like hesitant or insecure, but really it's your own self being like I want this. I need this. Like, so you better go and be weird and like creative and like a little unusual, because that's like who you are. Okay. So that's your unconscious right there. And Four of Cups, contemplation. Okay, the contemplation here, you're definitely contemplating a lot, especially the messages that are coming through for you, especially in your dreams. Okay, for this month of September, because the dreams are just very vivid, real messages and dreams. So don't like don't try to get like too ahead of yourself. Like, contemplate things, really look at things, really analyze things when it comes to forming new relationships. Your old relationships have already been revolutionized. Everyone in your like old circle of people that have known you for a while now, they all see who you are, they all get it, they all are like still getting on board with it, still new to them, but they're starting to see it. They're starting to realize it. And then your new relationships, they are going to be just as shocked, but in a different type of shock. I feel like. Um, so you're shocking so many people, Virgo. What are you doing? No, it's good. It's good. It's okay. Shock and awe, right? That's what the magician does. The magician shocks and awes people all the time. That's their job. So don't apologize for being the magician, okay? Contemplation, Four of Cups. So I'm going to take a closer look at that. So your Four of Cups, yeah, boredom, unappreciative, need to meditate, clarity, acceptance, and new ambition. So it's actually interesting. When the Four of Cups is in reversed, that's when clarity comes in. That's when acceptance comes in. That's where new ambitions come in. And like you're waiting for that clarity. You're waiting for that aha moment. I feel like you just sort of had it, but you also like it wasn't 100% clear because you're still like slightly confused, but you're still like it's okay. Like it's fun to be confused sometimes. Um, so boredom, unappreciative, and need to meditate. Yeah, like I think you've done enough meditating, and now you can really start to see like you are different from a lot of people, and that's what makes you unique and special in your gifts and your talents, and that's what makes you have like almost like a star-like quality. um you know Obviously the star card's not here, but I just feel like it's a presence that's like hovering over you, like kind of like a guide almost. So um contemplation again is meditation, stuff like that. So if you feel the need to sort of keep meditating and things like that, go for it, absolutely. Just know that you have to keep moving forward, and if the new relationships you're making end up not working out and they just ends up becoming something negative for you, you're not seeing a lot of positive outcomes from that, then cut your losses. These are just brand new relationships. But I would just say give it a little bit more time to see what happens. And if what happens is something that really resonates with you in a good, positive way. So your influence is the Devil card. Okay. So and that is obsession. Okay. Your Devil card is obsession here. So I feel like somebody is like very much obsessed with you, Virgo, with the Devil card. I feel like they see you and they hold you in such high regard, but it's become like toxic. Like become too obsessive. It's become too entangled. And I think this is really causing you a lot of problems. As far as like, I think it's just like one specific individual. I don't think it's like a group of individuals, or I just think it's like one person in particular. Um, and let's see about this Devil card. Yeah, Sage and Blessing. Okay, so the blessing and the burning of sage here with the Devil card. So I definitely think that like people who are obsessed with you are not healthy for you. All right, Virgo. So obsession and sage and blessing with the Devil. It's like the universe is giving you like the thumbs up, right? It's giving you the okay to push that button on. Like, I feel like being obsessed with yourself, to be honest. I think this other person that could be obsessed with you is like maybe an ex or something that wants to cause like chaos and destruction for you and not really be present in a good way in your life. But I also see like a way to deal with that is like fully letting go of that person and fully becoming like involved and obsessed with yourself, like not in a narcissistic way. The devil can be tempting, right? And it can allure us down the wrong paths. It can make us choose wrong when we know we should be choosing right. But there's a blessing here from the universe that's saying, like, it's okay to be obsessed with yourself for a while. It's okay to be a little selfish. It's okay. Because in the past, you definitely gave away your power a lot to other people and other relationships just to keep them because you were afraid of losing them. Like you were afraid of being abandoned, right? Or afraid of losing um, someone, right? Like that loss, that fear of loss, of connection, of emotional connection is so apparent. Okay. But for you, it's like be your own obsession, right? I feel like the lovers and the devil here with the kindred souls, it's like be obsessed with yourself for a while. Reflect on yourself. Reflect on all the relationships that you had and what happened and what went wrong. And what went wrong is that you put other people ahead of yourself, which is a very tempting thing to do, Virgos, when you are so afraid of being alone. But I'm not saying like isolate yourself from others. I'm not saying don't pursue a romantic relationship if that's what you want. I'm not saying cut your family off if they're bothering you. You know, give it a couple days or a week break from them, right? I'm saying just put yourself first for the first time, Virgo, in your life. Put yourself first, okay? Be obsessed with yourself for a while, okay? I don't feel like this is a romantic person. I feel like this is you. For September, this is all about you. It's about you being a kindred soul to yourself, being a best friend to yourself. Um, love all the parts of yourself. Love the shadowy part of yourself, the dark, crazy, mysterious part of yourself that's so dramatic and like devilish. And also love the part of yourself that is kind and loving and calm and nurturing. Because you're reading for me, everything here kind of read as like you have a lot of passion, you have a lot of energy to give, but you want to give it to the right people at the right time and the right energy too. So, for you to do that, you need to first know how to do that to yourself. Give yourself all that is required to keep yourself nurtured, to keep yourself energized, to keep your passion like ignited. And then when you figure it out and solve the mystery of how to do that to yourself, then you can help others along the way. And you're helping them and you're showing up when they need help and when you can give it. And it's like harmony, right? And that's what this reading showed me is there is harmony. The past was all about the emperor and disharmony, but you are finding the balance, Virgo, and you are finding the harmony, and that's how you're solving the problem. Okay, so that's what I have for you. The universe is blessing you. Love and light always. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.